Let's get right into it. Battle 6. Captain, I have contacted Ganesha Familia as usual. I wrote down the details of the things we have discussed. Thank you all. No problem now, Niall, and I will go patrolling again. How old are you now? I'm 14. I see, thanks for answering my question. Now you may run along. I will be back, sir. Why did you ask Wall his age? It's not like I had a specific reason to do so. Guess just needed a reality check. People pass away too easily. This ungoverned lane is filled with screams of despair. We even need to depend on children's help. We can't have this torn into a moan, into the gnome. Yet just like Aki, we are not making Wall fight in the front. It should be fine. I'm sure some of the members of Astria Familia is the same age as Wall 2 Reveria. Those goals are different. They all possess significant combat skills and solid faith. They will lead the way to a brighter future. Right, those goals are the light of hope. It's not like we have plenty of adventurers and supporters to choose from in Auraria these days. Wall himself came to Auraria to become an adventurer too, although he was freaking out when he first got here. Speaking of which, Finn, you were a similar age when you and Loki first created this familiar, right? Age doesn't matter. Things were different back then, Gareth, but you're right. For now, we should learn from the dwarves and not focus on the concept of mercy. Now, regarding the regular meeting with Ganesha Familia, it seems they have been working closely with Shaki these days, sharing intel. What could they be up to? It's true that the city is still filled with people suffering, yet things have gotten way better than it was in the early Dark Era. We are in a better position right now as we kept eliminating the evil forces of Evilis. The threat isn't obvious at the moment, yet I'm concerned about what our enemies are up to. They still seem to be randomly attacking different parts of the city. They are making it obvious that they are up to no good. It's as if they are assuming we would suspect them. Is this Velita's way of doing things? Probably. Either she thinks we won't be able to find out the truth, or she wouldn't mind if we did. According to Shaki, an ignition system of the magic stone was stolen from the factory that got attacked. Why would anyone want to steal that? It can't even be used with too firmly a magic item. Have we found out about the dark market? I'm not being personal here, but I'm concerned that the branch of the sacred tree is being traded. I'm not sure if this is related, but there's something sketchy going on outside of Auraria. Probably there are organizations working for Evilis. So what now? In case you haven't noticed, it would be impossible for us to sell everything. We'll take care of the investigations outside the city for us. I'm sorry for interrupting, guys, but it seems there's another adventure hunting going on in the dungeon. Again, geez, these guys love torturing others on the surface and in the dungeon. Shall we get headed? That won't be necessary. I was expecting this to happen sooner or later, so I have asked the ghouls to take care of it. It's Evilis. Adventure hunting, damn it. Can't we even be permitted to go dungeon exploring? 1. So you have decided to run away, leaving the bones of your allies behind. Are you sure about that? No one's expecting you to be a hero, but you should fight fate in order not to disgrace the name of an adventurer, or else entertain me by hosting a bloodshed banquet while I indulge in despair. Dream on, idiot. Finn was right about it. He's definitely absolutely insane. I really wouldn't mind marrying that braver of the clan. It's impossible. You are just an annoying little paloom. There's the difference between dream and reality, and most importantly, shut up. And who might you all be? We are a hero of justice, and we punish those engaged in crimes. The Ashria familiar, the weirdly intelligent fools with lame faith and hopes. If we are fools, you guys are trash. I'm gonna spit on you and squash you under my foot. You sound too rude and merciless to be a hero of justice and trusting. So why venture hunting, and are you in need of cash or magic stones? Why, you ask? That's a hard one to answer. I mean, do we need a reason to stare at something pretty? What? One wants to spread my arms and breathe under the blue sky and cherish the colorful flowers blooming across the field. My desires are no different from that. All I'm asking is to see this imperfect world beautiful, painted in red with the fresh blood. Broken man, oh yes, the name resonates in my corrupted heart. Yes, it's a title I'm worthy of. You deserve to be in prison until the last day you breathe. It's been decided absolutely. Well, looks like you have got no option. Story. It doesn't tell the chapter names. I see you're strong the rumors about Ashria familiar. Well, wait. Whatever I can tell, you are not just an underling, as you are able to battle with Elise and Kaguya and still staying on your own 2 feet. Are you one of the higher ups of Evilis? But we haven't heard anything about someone like you. It seems like there's nothing special about me appearance-wise. My allies even call me faceless. By the way, the ones I had business with had been dealt with. Are they your friends? I see reinforcements are the last things I want now. We shall retreat. Our mission is. I'm aware of that. Well then, heroic ladies of justice, until we meet again. Stop. He's trying to lure us into one of his stupid traps. We can't let him. Are you 3 fine? We were unharmed, but it's a shame we let go of the higher-ups of our enemies. How did they go at your side? Until the adventurers who managed to escape to stay in Lytheria, but unfortunately for those who got attacked first. If only we got here sooner. Stop right there, you idiot. Are you trying to be a hero or something? It's just impossible for us to save everyone at this rate. Oh, it's just shut up. It's nice that you two are great friends, but this isn't the best time for an argument. Do something, Captain. Let's bring the bodies back out of this place and return them to the parties. And then we take a detour. I know just the place. I love how beautiful this place always is. It's been a while since we last stepped foot onto the 18th floor. It doubles the thrill since we are tired and all. Well now, Leon, Kaguya, take a deep breath. Allow yourself to indulge in calmness. Facing reality and having a strong faith isn't a bad thing, but sometimes we have got to relax. And in the name of Captain and this view, I shall give in and do as you say. What's that supposed to mean? Jeez. There's nothing but trouble in the dungeon. But 18th floor is an exception. I'd build a house here if there were no monsters. That's actually a great idea. This place is truly a paradise. Will someone bury me here? I was just building a grave instead of a house, huh? Then I guess we won't have to worry about monsters. I'm down. Lyra, Neon, Wana, Amul, Mary, I don't know. You're all being ridiculous. Don't take it seriously, Leon. We're only half joking. We are adventurers after all. We have to face the risk of losing our lives all the time. That's very true, but you immature baby elf, are you too scared to die? Absolutely not, Heather, even if I was. Just be prepared for your own sake, Leon. Evilist, for whatever reason there is, we all die one day. Yep, and the point is that I'd like to pick the place to die if I had the option to. You should loosen up a little bit. Yet I still feel we shouldn't be discussing things like this. I'd not want to think about the day I die just yet. I'd like to do whatever it takes to avoid such a fate and protect what I have now. Is that your belief, Leon? Indeed, I like to be staying here with my dear comrades. Does that sound weird to you? What's with the smile, Lyra? Nothing, just like I'm thrilled with how cheesy you sounded just now. Dear God, it's hard to find someone or even an elf as stubborn as you. Your mind is as stone hard and it's helpless. What do you mean by that, Kaguya? Are you making fun of me? I know you are, aren't you? That was supposed to be a compliment coming from Lyra and Kaguya. They admire your belief in justice. It didn't sound like it, though. Promise me you won't change, Leon. I want you to always be yourself. Elise? Well then, I think we have spent enough time taking a break. Let's go back to the surface. "8 days until the great feud." Complete defeat? Huh. There are a bunch of evils from different groups, but the gods of Class 2 adventurers all wiped out before I arrived. This isn't the way Evilus used to behave, plus the same thing's been happening in the world. Could it be one person doing all this? Or it's a simple-minded brute like you doing all this? Huh, what? Wow. The wall of this factory is made of adamantite, but someone made a hole in it. There's no technique involved. Someone is just using brutal power, knocking down everyone they see to make way. I haven't heard anyone talking about a barbarian like you joining the crappy evil force. Well, there might be a new member. From Zeus's familiar. Or was it Howard's familiar? I don't know. What are you doing? Observing. I'm observing the view that looks pretty much like the view in my memory. It's called nostalgia. I'm sorry, but who are you? Alivas. I'm a believer of chaos and one of the higher ups of Evilus, which means I'm your ally. That's why I'd like to ask, my friend, why did you not kill those adventurers? Class 2 adventurers are a threat, but with your power you could have easily taken them down, and yet you didn't. Why? Have you eaten ants before? Have you eaten spiders, bees, scorpions? Have you ever eaten monsters to keep yourself alive or quench your thirst but with the ashes? Where are you getting at? I have, with different kinds of reasons. I have tried eating everything one can think of except for my allies. To me, killing is like eating. One has to eat to survive, one eats to live. No matter how you do it, it's the same. It's either you shower yourself with blood or you suck them. What are you implying? I'm here breathing today because I have been eaten, and I believe I have the right to choose what I eat. I can tell you are picky with food. You only eat children or women and not beasts. You have only had small worms like yourself. If you only know how to eat worms, then you eat the worms. But if you want to feed me with it, it's got to be a bunch. Worms are disgusting. It makes me sick and depressed thinking about it becoming my blood and flesh makes me want to tear my throat apart. Worms, sir. A matey level 3 adventurer is just an insect to you, huh? Fine, we'll take care of the pests. But when it becomes a war, I'll be expecting you to unleash those powers of yours. A land where 1,000 years of history had to be ended. We'll see if I would be able to deal with such despair or not. In a wall made of adamant, kind of from Freya Familiar discovered that according to him, apparently there's a very experienced member in Evilus. I didn't exactly want to hear from the strongest of a warrior. I did not want to imagine how strong this one is. Also, Ashia Familiar made a contact with who seemed to be one of the higher-ups of Evilus on the 18th floor, although he couldn't be captured. And the promising newcomer and the future leader as a competitive as Loki and Freya, you are making friends with Gale, aren't you? Not exactly, it's just that we have something in common, which is this situation where we are surrounded by bad listeners. Right, you and that unsmiley elf are both seriously all the time. As your god, perhaps I should find a day to go and say hi to her. I have finally earned her trust. I wouldn't want you to do anything that affects that in a bad way. Just like the beautiful goddess, she is pure and dignified. Sorry for running late. Oh, you better be, Ashia. Since when did you become worthy of being able to fashionably late to our gathering, eh? Is proactively disgracing yourself like a new trend. So Ashia, are you late because you were taking care of your children? I was at the orphanage, and then I had to help a shop-run business in the market. The children and I prepared soup. It's nothing more than a self-satisfaction. You just don't have enough self-awareness as a goddess. What I'm doing is nothing more than you getting drunk or having your favorite drink. It's like a hobby to me. Besides, the goals are fading for the city. It would be a shame if I were to sit back and not do anything. The innocent look on your face is what annoys me. You're as annoying as Artemis, but she's better for being stronger. We are all matey, and we can't treat things on the surface with perfect equality. Justice is an ego, and I do not like it. What's wrong with that? I like how they are meaningless things on the surface. Perhaps I should do what Ashia is doing one day. Damn it, so you're telling me this hypocrite and the lewd goddess is popular among the children, eh? The surface world is doomed. You're right, Loki. By the way, was it really a good idea for me to join this tea party? Unlike you all, my family lacks in power. We are just here to chat and share information. Probably we know much more than those foolish gods since we've been patrolling around. As for me, I personally like you. Your children are gorgeous too. I'd have them on my familiar if they won't use. And there it is again, the bad habit of yours. I'm telling you, one day you'll have a war with Ishtar, you freaking freaky people collector. I'd take that as a compliment for you. So, what about Ganesha? Since he's especially encourages his children to go on patrols, shouldn't he be here to join the discussion? He was invited because he's noisy. Oh. I'm Ganesha. I'm Ganesha, I tell ya. I'm going to do a one-shot performance. I'm Ganesha. I'm very popular with the ladies. That's Ganesha. I'm Ganesha. You're truly nosy and annoying. You just made my day as always, little Ganesha. Shall we stop him or not? Don't ask me, I don't want anything to do with it. Number 9. Well then, let's start our tea party, shall we? So look, I heard you have sent homies a little request. I did actually. It was Finn. No, there's a Perseus visited our place earlier. They found out what the exponents of Evilis are up to outside of the city. As Finn said, they are non-combatants without the god's fauna. They are using tons of so-called followers for outside activities, meaning, yep, they are extending their forces, mainly with violence, starting with plundering, treasuring, threatening, and propaganda is a fearful tactic in whichever area you're living in. We gods are like propagators. But the concept still terrifies me. And you think they are pathetic, don't you? Don't make me say that out loud. Anyway, Auraria is the center of the world, and its chaos would spread vastly. We will be hated by the entire world, but then things went out of control when Zeus and Hera were here, and the debt has to be settled. It makes me feel very uneasy when people in and out of Auraria sees us with hatred. Elder gods tell us not to take things personally, though. You are naive, Asfi. Don't worry. In 7 years, you'll be an old stressful woman, and you'll realize small troubles are nothing but noises. Stop imagining what I'll be like in the future, geez. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. I have one more thing to report. So there are several believers involved in the issue, and one of the groups is engaged in extremely fishy activities. And where is this happening? Somewhere north of Auraria in the Dodine region. That's a weird name. It reminds me of the things I don't want to remember about. Homies did his research, and it seems nothing big is going to happen, though. He said he will keep on investigating until he finds out something. I don't get it. What does Evilis want involving people outside of Auraria? Incidents at Factory's branch of the Sacred Tree and activities in Dodane What could our enemy be after? Yeah, I'm having trouble connecting the dots. Perhaps there's something I still haven't figured out. Even if I'm a god, keep on it with the investigation, Asvi. I need more clues before I can think. I didn't sign up for this, but you made me the vice captain. Falgo would have been a better candidate than for me. You are born a captain. You enjoy keeping yourself busy, taking care of others. Well, you and Lidis should keep it up. Well, I don't like her. She's like the female version of Lord Homies, and she makes me feel uneasy. The other day, I'm Lidis. I'm not in charge of taking care of trouble, but you are Asvitihi. And there she went. She's gorgeous, all white, but she's like a child, and it scares me. But you have no idea what she's like in bed. You piece of crap, a crappy god that sleeps with the children. I was just joking. She and I aren't like that. One day when I went to wake her up, she was sleeping in a weird pose, and still, you don't just walk into a girl's bedroom like that. Yet I still have questions. I'll tell you anything, so please put your fist covered in my blood down. Had been active, although there are limits to things they can plunder or force their followers to collect for them. That's not the problem, though there are merchants entering in and out of the city who are helping them. And that's true. It's true that someone wants to turn a warrior into an outlaw city and overthrow the guild. In a warrior, you're allowed to do business with monster drop items, but not anything related to magic stones. Exactly, it's a city of dungeon, but there are restrictions for business related to dungeon. Several merchants want the guild gone. The guild has complete control over the huge magic stones manufacturing industry, and without them, someone else can benefit greatly. It's just sad someone is bringing chaos to the city for their own benefit. Precisely, I'm amazed, and I don't know what to say. Some folks just gotta broaden their minds. Without the guild, who's gonna manage the dungeon with adventurers? Dead, who could slay the black dragon, the apocalypse? But it does make sense. Destruction of a warrior equals the end of the world. Even children know that. It's what decides the fate of the world. But here's the big question. Why are the merchants investing in Evilus now? What do you mean? There were other times when it was easier to destroy a warrior. For example, 8 years ago, during the Dark Era. It was very dark times at that time. It seemed there wasn't much business activity going on between merchants and Evilus, but why now? This is purely an assumption, but perhaps there's a new force that could be stronger than adventurers. About what we have talked about earlier, what if they were the ones who put a hole in the wall made of adamant? Are you saying that the merchants could have decided to side with Evilus for strong backing? I'm not sure about agreeing with your theory just like that, but it's very understandable, and it makes sense, damn perfectly. A force stronger than adventurers has someone who can rule a warrior even after the guild's gone. How can that be? But it does make sense. Seems they are all connected, including dark activities performed outside the city. No doubt about it, there's someone. It must be an evil god. Leon. Lord Ellen. What a coincidence, you're patrolling again, huh? Of course you are the child of justice. 51 days, jeez. Oh dear God, who's this male god? He's a god, but he doesn't look like one, and I can't find a way to compliment him. He must be a sketchy god Elise had been talking about. It's the poverty god with a little life savings. We met for the first time, but how harsh you are to me. As a god, I'd appreciate a little more respect from you, though. You are the children of Astria, someone as righteous as Astria, but even more merciful, right? Be more virtuous. You know about Lady Astria. Well, we all dreamed of having an elder sister like her. She's like the symbol of purity surrounded by a bunch of weirdo goddesses. She's the very definition of mercy. The goddess of all goddesses. We would dream of sleeping on her lap. It's got to be her and no one else. Astria is the goddess who would possibly become the mother of all of us male gods. Girls. Again, you goals are so harsh. I'm not exactly sure how to comment on this, though. Is there a particular reason you wanted to see us, Lord Ellen? Not that I can think of. I saw your goals and I was bored, so I decided to talk to you. I can hardly think of any better way to spend one's time other than dealing with a bored god. Well, I hate to be rude, but as you can see, we're on patrol, so if you'll excuse me. How long are you going to do that for? What do you mean by that? It means exactly as it sounds. You ladies are providing free services till the last bit of evil disappears. By the time peace is restored in the city, our service will no longer be needed. Or is it more like until the last bit of your sense of justice withers? What are you implying? Free services without a demand of return is a tough thing. To me, it's something oddly unhealthy, and it worries me. It's fine while you girls are in good shape, but can you say the same when you are worn out? Mr. Melgard, are you here to wind us up? Absolutely not. Seriously, I'm simply impressed with you girls. You are doing all the impossible and being proud about it. When you girls perish one day, I'd feel devastated and feel aroused for inappropriately feeling that way. What the fuck? This is starting to get annoying. Our fathers are like hungry dogs for right now. You may not want to wind them up if you don't want to be bitten by them. I like how your eyes tell the hardships you have been through. A girl like you is what keeps the family of justice running. Let's go. We are not obliged to waste our time dealing with him. He thinks that we are his toys. I'll leave then, I promise, but before that I have one last question. What's justice? I beg your pardon. I have a question stuck in my head. It seems justice is considered righteous here on the surface as an almighty. I shamefully doubt my possession of this ultimate justice, but perhaps it's because it's me. But that's why I want answers. What children of goddess of justice? Don't listen to him, Leon. Can you answer my question? Do you not know the answer? That means you don't even know what you are fighting for. Alright, then I'll spare some time taking part in your meaningless conversation. The answer to your question is pretty obvious. So what's justice? It's good faith that is priceless. It's a one and only value of matters that never falter. To slay the evil and eliminate them, that is my justice. I see so good faith in the nature of those living here, and instead of evil, you are using virtue to control the world. You are hard selling good faith and winning power with violence. That's such a forceful justice. That's absolutely not what I meant. We need power to stand up against the evil. Without power, we can't protect that or save anyone. I didn't mean to insult you. What you're saying isn't wrong at all. I like how you're keeping it nice and simple. You can't really have the world persuaded with well-put philosophy and logic. But then I'm curious to find out what happens if evil is to go through the same. This man seems to be an expert in getting on my nerves. My bad, forgive me, you're all beautiful insides. And outside, I feel bad for wasting your time, but it was great help. I hope we'll never have to see you again. It was very displeasing to be treated like we are your toys. I knew it's got to be you. You're the one with integrity. He isn't hostile with us, and I feel no bad intention from him. In fact, it's as if he's trying to be nice to us. But what is he, I wonder? "7 days until the great feud. A group of suspicious people is spotted around this place. They are hiding the smell with items to avoid monsters' attacks. Storehouse where the villains keep illegal merchandise. Can't believe it was in the Northwest District, away from that exchange. Captain Shaki, we are ready to fight anytime. Good. We are going to end this once and for all. Ready, attack. Right here, the choice has been surrounded now. Drop your weapons and the merchants, they're all injured. They have got attacked, and it happened before we even got here. Who could have done this? As always, this is such a nosy town. Oh, Belle's mother's sister. Aurora never seems to change. It's loud and full of trouble. There's not even a moment of silence for us to fall asleep. How pathetic this place gets on my nerves. Where did she come from? I mean, how long has she been here? Did you do this? Who else could have done it? Why did you do it? It just got on my nerves, that's all. What's that supposed to mean? These pathetic beings got what they deserve. They have abused the holy tree of the force of elves and disgraced this place. You mean the church? Yes, it was the place my sister was fond of. I'll do anything. I ought to turn them into corpses, but it's not my will to paint this place with blood. I'll leave it to you all to take care of the rest. Did you think we'd let you go just like that? Did you think you can capture me just like that? Did you call Sis a girl? Stop messing around, Audie. Everyone attack. Gospel. What the fuck would you attack her? She just defeated some evilest people. What was that magic? She's gone. What should we do, sis? We shouldn't chase after her. We have arrested the evilest and the merchants. Now illegal merchandise is hidden somewhere in this church. Work in teams and search for them. Since she helped us knock down the evilest, she's on our side. Agency. It's hard to tell what a stray person like that is thinking. One thing we know is that she's uncooperative and that she's strong. One of those we captured was higher up of evilest, though level 3 and level 4 blacklisted adventurers too. So she's capable of easily taking down class 2 adventurers. Apparently she's not from Finn's group, so I wonder where she belongs to. We have found several stolen goods that went missing from the exchange. There are items from outside of Warrior 2. This is it, the branch of the holy tree. The one taken from Leon's hometown, right? Well, it's a precious weapon, forging material after all. But look how many there are. It's impossible to tell which one is the one that came from Leon's hometown. There's so many and they all look alike. We'll have the elves take a look at them. Speaking of which, sis, if we happen to find the one from Rumulia Force, which is from Leon's hometown, can we return it to her? These are stolen goods. Guards like us do not decide what to do with it. However, I heard elves from Rumulia are exceptionally graceful. If we were to return it to them, probably they won't accept it. I do not see a problem if the branch was to return to an elf from that town. I hope that will make Leon happy.